How to get closer to an avoidant partner without pushing them away. Getting close to an avoidant partner can feel like trying to hug a shadow. Every time you step forward, they seem to step back. You might love them deeply, feel their affection in fleeting moments, and sense that beneath their walls, there's someone worth waiting for. But it's exhausting, isn't it? The mixed signals, the silence, the moments when they're all in, followed by cold distance. If you're trying to build emotional intimacy with someone who pulls away when things get too real, this video is for you. Today, we'll dive into what makes avoidant partners tick, why closeness feels threatening to them, and most importantly, how to create emotional safety without losing your sense of self. Avoidant partners often learned early in life that vulnerability equals danger. Maybe they had a parent who was emotionally inconsistent, neglectful, or dismissive. As a result, they developed a belief that needing others leads to disappointment. So now, as adults, the closer someone gets, the more it triggers their primal fear of engulfment. They may not even be consciously aware of it, but their behavior tells the story. They detach, they distract themselves, they get irritable over small things, or they shut down completely when conversations turn emotional. This doesn't mean they don't love you. In fact, they often do, but love feels dangerous because it invites connection. And connection feels like a threat to their emotional independence. So how do you get closer without triggering their defenses? First, you stop chasing. I know that sounds counterintuitive. Shouldn't love involve showing up, proving you care, being consistent? Yes, but with avoidance, your pursuit often gets interpreted as pressure. They may see your loving texts as emotional demands, your desire to talk as confrontation, and your need for closeness as a trap. So instead of chasing, lean back. Ground yourself in calm presence. Let your energy say, I'm here, but I don't need to consume you to feel whole. This is the beginning of building what avoidants crave the most, safety without suffocation. Another powerful shift is to create space for autonomy without punishment. Avoidant individuals are hyper-aware of losing their freedom. If every moment of closeness is followed by guilt, questions, or expectations, they'll retreat even further. But if you show them that you respect their need for space and that your love doesn't disappear in that space, they begin to soften. You're showing them something they rarely experience: connection without control. That's powerful. That's how trust begins to build, slowly but deeply. Now let's talk about communication, because this is where most couples with avoidant dynamics struggle. Avoidants often fear emotional conversations because they associate them with blame or conflict. So instead of asking, "Why don't you ever open up to me?" try, "I've noticed you've been quiet lately, and I just want you to know I'm here if you want to talk." That tiny shift from accusation to invitation can change everything. You're no longer a threat, you're a safe landing place. And that's rare for an avoidant. Don't expect instant results, but over time they begin to associate you with peace, not pressure. It's also vital to let go of trying to fix them. Avoidant partners are not broken. They are wired differently, often due to childhood experiences they had no control over. Trying to fix them sends a message that who they are is not acceptable. Instead, aim to understand them. Validate their fears, even if they seem irrational. For instance, if they avoid conversations about the future, don't push it right away. Instead, say something like, "I get that long-term plans might feel overwhelming. We can take it one step at a time." When you remove the pressure, you reduce the fear. When you reduce the fear, you create room for connection. But let me be clear, this process isn't just about them, it's about you too. You must be rooted in your own self-worth to navigate a relationship with an avoidant partner. You need to know that your needs are valid, that your desire for intimacy, affection, and emotional safety is not too much. Your job isn't to shrink yourself to make the relationship work. It's to stay whole while meeting your partner halfway. That balance is the key. If you lose yourself while trying to get closer to someone, that's not love. That's emotional sacrifice, and love should never cost your identity. Another subtle but powerful way to get closer is through shared experiences. Not deep talks, but doing things together. Avoidants often connect more comfortably through action than emotion. Go on a hike, build something together, take a road trip. Watch a series you both enjoy. These neutral, pressure-free experiences create bonding in a non-threatening way. It builds what psychologists call parallel intimacy, closeness that forms side by side, not face to face. And for avoidant partners, that feels safer and often leads to more openness down the road. It also helps to model vulnerability, not demand it. Share your emotions in a grounded, non-accusatory way. Instead of saying, "You never tell me how you feel," try, "I sometimes feel a bit distant between us, and I miss our connection." That vulnerability, spoken calmly, plants a seed. Avoidants don't respond well to emotional floods, but they do notice emotional courage. You're showing them that emotions can be expressed without chaos. Over time, that makes a big difference. Here's something most people miss. Avoidants often test your emotional boundaries, not maliciously, but out of fear. They might pull away to see if you'll explode, cling harder, or guilt-trip them. If you can respond to their distancing with calm curiosity instead of panic, you're reprogramming the dynamic. You're teaching their nervous system that closeness doesn't always end in drama, that love can survive silence, that security doesn't mean suffocation. Every time you stay emotionally balanced when they retreat, you're showing them a new kind of love, one they've likely never experienced before. Now let's address a hard truth. Not all avoidant partners are willing or able to grow. You can do everything right and still feel like you're in a one-sided relationship. If your emotional needs are constantly dismissed, if your efforts are met with indifference or contempt, it's not your job to keep proving your worth. Your peace matters too. Love is not just about understanding someone's wounds. It's about making sure your own aren't constantly reopened. If getting closer feels like walking through a minefield, ask yourself, is this love nurturing you or draining you? But if you see signs that your avoidant partner is trying, if they occasionally open up, show affection in their own way, or admit when they're overwhelmed, don't overlook those small victories. For avoidance, vulnerability is like walking through fire. So when they let you in, even briefly, it's significant. A quiet, "I missed you," a text out of the blue, a gentle touch. They may not say much, but they're showing you in their language. Learn to recognize and appreciate their way of loving, even if it's different from yours. Then gently invite more of it by being a safe, steady presence. In closing, getting closer to an avoidant partner requires emotional intelligence, deep patience, and above all, empathy. Not sympathy, not rescue missions, but the kind of empathy that sees a scared child beneath a distant adult. The kind that says, "I won't abandon you, but I won't abandon myself either." And when both of you can stand in that space, grounded, open, and imperfect, you create something rare. A love that stretches without breaking, a bond that heals without forcing, and a closeness that doesn't demand, it invites. So if you're on this journey with an avoidant partner, keep this in mind. Your calm is your power, your understanding is your bridge, and your self-respect is your anchor. You don't have to chase, you don't have to beg. You simply need to stay rooted in your truth and offer connection, not as a demand, but as a gift. The right heart will reach back, even if it takes time. Thanks for watching, and if this video spoke to your experience, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your story. You're not alone, and your journey matters. Until next time, stay wise, stay grounded, and above all, stay kind to yourself.